Hello wild people, welcome to AK Wild One. I'm on the banks of the Copper River and I'm going to check out our fish wheel. This is the first time of the season that it's actually been running, so I'm anxious to see if we've got any fish and looking forward to checking it out. Okay, well there's the fish wheel. It's been running through the night. There's a lot of red salmon in the river. There's a sonar, I don't know, 100 or so miles downstream that shows there's about 400,000 fish in the river. And we're excited, so we're going to check out the fish hold, the box right here. You can see the fish wheel, how that works. The fish swim into the basket, they get caught in the basket, and then they slide down into the box. So let's go check it out. Okay, made it down the bank, and this is like Alaska Christmas here. We're going to see if there's any protein in the box, some red salmon, and if so, we're going to eat well tonight. So here's our fish wheel working. There's our box. Let's go check it out. Okay, let's see. Got some, oh yeah, there's some fish in there. I can see them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab those fishies. I'm going to guess there's between 5 and 10. That's my guess. Could be more. What we're going to do is grab them, put them in a bucket, and then fillet them. Blisters and I got the fish out of the fish wheel, and this is what we came up with. We've got 11 very nice sockeye salmon. I'll show you in a moment. A couple of them have seal bites. So these fish have traveled over, 100 miles to reach this destination, and some of them go at least 200 miles. So there's our Copper River Reds. They're different from other fish, other salmon. Well, we're a little snobbish out here. We think our salmon are the best, and I'm pretty proud of them anyway. They have a very high fat content because they have to travel long distance. And salmon, as you know, sockeye salmon have high omega-3s and selenium, which is really good for your brain. So we're going to fillet these up here. The things I always wear when I'm filleting and handling fish is a fillet glove. This makes it easier to handle the fish. Okay, there you go. You can see on this one it's got a seal bite. So I'm not sure how that's going to infect the meat, but we'll see. And I mean, look at that. That's a beautiful, there's a beautiful sockeye salmon right there. Let's see if I can get a couple shots of it. That's very pretty salmon. They come usually 5 to 8 pounds or so. You might get a couple pounds, 2 or 3 pounds off the fillets. So I like to cut the fins off. Throw those to the river or burn. There we go. Clean this fish up a bit. There we go. Couple of nice fillets right there. This is a pretty red right here. Just beautiful. These fish have a lot of slime. You see the slime on them. That protects them as they go upriver. as they get a seal bite in them. It helps stop the bleeding. Okay. You might want to sharpen your knife, and you should almost slice through right along that backbone. Okay, that's not a bad fillet here. Got some bones. Okay. Get rid of that. That'll be a nice fish to eat. Have to clean that up a little bit when you get home. Put that over here. Do the other side. So as I mentioned, we've got 11 salmon. I don't know if I said that. That's not bad. Start. Sometimes I've seen over 100 in the Fishwheel box. And I'm throwing the fish in the river. That nitrogen's good for the river. Ultimately, predators and the scavengers will wind up eating the seagulls, and the bald eagles and everything will wind up eating the salmon carcasses. Okay, got a little hack there. So here we go. Here's a couple of nice fillets. These aren't too bad. I did okay on these. There's a lot of other techniques. Maybe I'll explore some techniques. I mean, for me, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good salmon fillet right there. Wow. I've seen red salmon go for $50, $60 a pound. I remember I was in Philadelphia. It wasn't red salmon, you know. You look at this and you know it's not farm fish. Can't stand farm fish. Sorry. I'm a snob. I love our wild Alaska salmon. Okay, here's a really nice, this is probably the nicest one in the bunch. This is definitely a male. And you see that nice fish there? Oh my goodness. Remember, I was a kid that was born in Chicago. And I thought concrete was everything there was to life. Okay, just so some people don't understand, but because I live out here in a rural area in Alaska, I'm 200 miles away from a grocery store. Food prices are 3 times the prices in Anchorage. So I probably spend 5 times the average American for food when I go to the store. So this is my food. So I eat salmon and I eat moose. Healthy food. I like to live off the land. And so because I live in a rural area, 4 hours, there's 3,000 people, less than about 2,600 people in an area the size of West Virginia. Since I live out here in a rural area, I have what's called a subsistence permit, which allows me to catch fish in the Fishwheel. And honestly, I probably will catch and keep between 20 and 30 max. That will be enough for me for the winter, maybe give some to my kids, that kind of thing. Share with elders, that kind of stuff. So that's about how many I take. This river will get this year it's probably going to get about 1 million salmon up here. The commercial guys get a huge proportion of them. And then there's people who live here, and this is our grocery store. So, it's the way it works. Not many places left in the United States where a man or a woman can provide for their family in traditional ways. So I'm all about that. I don't buy my food under cellophane. I don't ask people to kill for me. I'm willing to face the music and do it myself. So I have a pretty strong appreciation for life. Hunters can have a strong, I'm not talking about sports hunters or sports fishermen. I'm not a sports hunter or sports fisherman. But you wind up having a huge appreciation for life, and you see how you're connected with everything when you live this way. Okay, so here's a couple of pretty nice fillets. There's a little smaller fish. Again, you can admire the nice, beautiful meat on these Copper River Reds. And like I said, I use a fillet glove. That makes it easier to hold the fish. And they're pretty slimy and slippery, so you don't want them getting away. And then I've got a nice fillet knife. It's a Dexter Britain fillet knife. Yep, and the fish wheel keeps turning. And one of the things I did was to try to make sure the fish wheel was close to shore. The fish swim very close to the shore, and I might need to move it in a little bit. Fish swim very close to the shore, and they're right along the bottom. So the fish wheel should actually be going pretty slow, and you almost want it scraping on the bottom a little bit. Yesterday it was so low I actually picked up a couple of rocks and then just raised it a little bit, and then it was golden. So, you know, Sockeye, they've got a couple hundred miles to go. They want to conserve energy, so they swim very close to the shore and deep, where the current's not as harsh on them, not as forceful. Here's a meat pack. You put the bucket on there, bungee cord it, and go up the hill. It's a pretty steep hill, 500, 600 feet, so sometimes we've carried up to 20 fish in a bucket, 5-gallon bucket. That's pretty heavy. It's a good workout. Well, wild people, we're all cleaned up the campsite. Mosquitoes are happy, we're happy, and the Copper River behind me just keeps flowing. And Blisters is carrying 11 filleted salmon up the hill. And I guess with that, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. And until we meet again, live wildly, my friends.